The big race at Epsom on Friday is the Oaks, and here is my horse-by-horse rundown of the 9 runners for the Group 1 Classic. Number 1 in the field is the 6-4 favourite, Desert Flower, the 1,000 guineas winner, Impressive. She has the best form in the book, but this is a mammoth test for her. It's been raining all day. I'm only a few miles away from Epsom. I know the ground will have softened up a lot, but regardless of that, stepping up from a mile on the Rowley Mile at Newmarket up to a 1.4 miles at Epsom is just a completely different ball game. Will she stay? Now, the same question mark is, it's the same question for a lot of the fillies in the race, but she is quite speedily bred. Will she handle it? If she does, she's obviously a massive player. If you're a big fan of hers, I wouldn't put you off backing her. But personally, at 6-4, given the step up in trip, given the rain that's around, it's enough to make me just kind of take a view against her, perhaps. Number 2 on the card is Elwatine, who finished 4th in the 1,000 guineas. Is said to have improved a bit since. She flew under the radar a good bit for that race. I didn't consider her at all, really, for Newmarket. She's got a superb pedigree. She's by Debawi and out of a mare who won a Group 1 over 1.2 miles. So she certainly should improve for a little bit of a step up in trip. Whether or not 1.4 miles is what she wants remains to be seen. But she's definitely one for the each way shortlist. Number 3 on the card is the first of Aidan O'Brien's runners, Giselle. She won the Oaks trial at Lingfield. She's open to improvement. She'd definitely stay. That race at Lingfield was not much. She only ran to an RPR of 100, backed it up with a pretty moderate speed figure as well. It's difficult to see her improving up to the mark required to land a blow in the Oaks. Obviously, these fillies are open to improvement, but I just can't see Giselle being quite good enough here. Number 4 in the Oaks is Go Go Boots, trained by John and Teddy Gosden, ridden by Oisin Murphy. Now, she's 50-1 outsider, and I imagine that there's been worse 50-1 outsiders than her in the Oaks down the years, because she didn't run a bad race at York last time out. That was behind Whirl, who is a big player here. It's difficult to see how she bridges that gap. She's probably up against it, but as I say, there's probably been worse 50-1 shots in the Oaks down the years. I'm going to get to number 5 and a couple of really interesting outsiders in a second. But first of all, you see that race card up there? If you go to my profile, there's a link directly to it. We've just launched these today, and it's a race-by-race preview that you can get hold of. And they're personally curated by me to help you through every single race with the likely winners, outsiders worthy of note, lay options, horses that you'd look at in the place markets on Betfair, something to really help you out. So I'm going to be producing 3, 4, maybe 5 of these per week, no more than that. Very selective meetings I'm going to be doing with these. And as I say, go and have a look. Number 5 is Mini Hawk. Now this horse, she won at Chester last time out. She won the Oaks trial at Chester. Didn't do a great deal wrong, but she only ran to an RPR of 97. Again, pretty moderate speed figure as well. It's just not the type of form. It's going to be quite a big gap for her to get from where she's at on paper to what you'd usually see from a top Group 1 winning filly. So at 5-1, 11-2, I respect the fact that she's the choice of Ryan Moore. I respect the fact that she's very well bred. She could improve. She could be up to the task. But on the evidence I have in front of me and the price, not for me. Number 6 is Killing Queen for Ed Walker. Now, she's another big outsider here, but she won quite nicely at Newbury last time out. She beat Revoir, who reopposes by a short head. But there was not a great deal between these two, and she's available at a much bigger price. I think the market is just suggesting that Revoir has got a little bit more room for improvement, certainly on pedigree. And I do think that the ground and the rain around the South London, Epsom kind of area over the last 24 hours has certainly blunted Killing Queen's chances here in the Oaks. Again, at 33-1, there's probably been worse 33-1 shots than Killing Queen, and it wouldn't surprise me if she finished in the top half. But seeing her win, it's difficult to see her winning, but I could definitely see her in the first 4 or 5 home if she handles the ground and stays the trip. Revoir is number 7 for Rafe Beckett. Now, Rafe Beckett has won this race a good few times down the years, and Revoir finished second on her second career start. That was last time out at Newbury. She was beaten by Killing Queen, who on the day had a little bit more experience, had first run on the race, and all of that type of stuff. She's bred to improve for this step up in trip. And you'd imagine that she'll be well prepared for this. She's been well backed in the market as well. She's a top price of 9-1 now. So yeah, you have to respect her, but just, you know, earlier on in the proceedings, she was kind of 14, 16 to 1. The fact that she's now 8 or 9 to 1, a lot of that value has been squeezed. If you like her, I wouldn't put you off her. She's definitely on the short list of horses that could improve and make it up to the kind of mark. But overall, I think she's up against it. I could be wrong. Maybe the market is right, but I think she's up against it. Number 8 on the card is we might take the long way for Joseph O'Brien. Now, she's rated 105. She's a little bit of a wild card entry in the field. She's got a good bit of experience. I don't know a great deal about her. I watched her Navan win last time out in a group 3 over a mile and 2. It was a good effort. She ran up to an RPR of 108, which is better than quite a few of the fillies in this race. Again, the speed figures on show in this race this year are not great at all, really. Look, she needs to improve an awful lot to kind of make it up to Group 1 level. The type of form that Desert Flower is able to show over shorter, if Desert Flower can kind of reproduce that over a mile and 4, she is just a cut above these on paper. But the trip, as we know, stamina is definitely a leveller. As I say, we might take the long way. A little bit of an interesting outsider, and an Irish raider coming over from Ireland. He's got a decent draw. Has been nibbled at in the market as well, which is interesting. Let me know your thoughts on this horse in the comments. I don't know, but my gut is telling me maybe finish 5th or 6th, but we're probably no better than that. Lastly is number 9 on the card, and that is Whirl, who has quickly turned into, well, the market is suggesting that she is becoming Aidan O'Brien's number 1 hope in the Oaks. She did clock a good speed figure at York when she won over the mile and 2 trip last time out. She was impressive that day. She's stretched a good bit clear in a Group 3 race. She's open to improvement. There's, you know, on the sire side, you know, there's more speed in her pedigree. On the dam side, there's a little bit more stamina, so it's possible that she'll stay the trip. I think Connections probably would have preferred a little bit less rain for her, but Whirl, I could definitely see why she's been well supported. I was looking at her earlier on in the week when she was still around 8 to 1, 15 to 2. I was thinking this is the type of filly that I could back for the Oaks each way. But now that she's kind of been hammered in the market into 9 to 2, 5 to 1, full disclosure, I have not backed her, so I've kind of missed the prices. But she was definitely on my mind. Now, I need to go back over a couple of things in terms of the ground and everything, and before I make a final betting decision. I do have a filly in mind for this race, and I might have a couple of bets in this race in the main line, or I might back nothing at all. But there's a few for the shortlist there. I hope you've taken a little bit from this video. You know, I do think that Desert Flower, her form, she does have the best form in the race. But will she stay the trip? I just wonder, will she be on wobbly legs in the last half a furlong? Will something come and catch her? Something like Whirl, perhaps. Just looking at the main dangers, just to kind of wrap up here. I think Whirl on paper is the main danger. And I think then you'd be looking at Elwitine. I think Elwitine is interesting. I think she'll be thereabouts in the top 3 or 4. So Elwitine, Whirl, and kind of a respectful nod towards Killing Queen as well, who I think has been overlooked a little bit in the market, and Revoir, obviously for Rafe Beckett, the fact that she could improve quite a bit for her pedigree and the step up in trip. So that's my thoughts on the Oaks. Let me know if you think I'm underestimating anything. Let me know your thoughts and let me know what you're backing. And remember, the card.